There is nothing to writing. All you do is sit down at a typewriter and bleed. I love sleep. My life has the tendency to fall apart when I'm awake, you know? The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much, and forgetting that you are special too. Always do sober what you said you'd do drunk. That will teach you to keep your mouth shut. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places. Every day is a new day. It is better to be lucky. But I would rather be exact. Then when luck comes you are ready. Every man's life ends the same way. It is only the details of how he lived and how he died that distinguish one man from another. The best people possess a feeling for beauty, the courage to take risks, the discipline to tell the truth, the capacity for sacrifice. Ironically, their virtues make them vulnerable. They are often wounded, sometimes destroyed. Forget your personal tragedy. We are all bitched from the start, and you especially have to be hurt like hell before you can write seriously. But when you get the damned hurt, use it, don't cheat with it. If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then wherever you go for the rest of your life, it stays with you, for Paris is a movable feast. I didn't want to kiss you goodbye, that was the trouble. I wanted to kiss you goodnight, and there's a lot of difference. So far, about morals, I know only that what is moral is what you feel good after, and what is immoral is what you feel bad after. Oh Jake, Brett said, we could have had such a damned good time together. Ahead was a mounted policeman in khaki directing traffic. He raised his baton. The car slowed suddenly, pressing Brett against me. Yes, I said. Isn't it pretty to think so? They wrote in the old days that it is sweet and fitting to die for one's country. But in modern war, there is nothing sweet nor fitting in your dying. You will die like a dog for no good reason. Don't you ever get the feeling that all your life is going by and you're not taking advantage of it? Do you realize you've lived nearly half the time you have to live already? Madam, all stories, if continued far enough, end in death. And he is no true storyteller who would keep that from you. Poor Faulkner. Does he really think big emotions come from big words? He thinks I don't know the $10 words. I know them all right. But there are older and simpler and better words, and those are the ones I use. After writing a story I was always empty and both sad and happy, as though I had made love. And I was sure this was a very good story, although I would not know truly how good until I read it over the next day. When writing a novel, a writer should create living people, not characters. A character is a caricature. Most people were heartless about turtles because a turtle's heart will beat for hours after it has been cut up and butchered. But the old man thought, I have such a heart too. But Paris was a very old city and we were young and nothing was simple there, not even poverty, nor sudden money, nor the moonlight, nor right and wrong, nor the breathing of someone who lay beside you in the moonlight. Going to another country doesn't make any difference. I've tried all that. You can't get away from yourself by moving from one place to another. There's nothing to that. There is no rule on how to write. Sometimes it comes easily and perfectly, sometimes it's like drilling rock and then blasting it out with charges. God knows I had not wanted to fall in love with her. I had not wanted to fall in love with anyone. But God knows I hadn't. I lay on the bed in the room of the hospital in Milan and all sorts of things went through my head, but I felt wonderful. He would lie in the bed and finally, with daylight, he would go to sleep. After all, he said to himself, it is probably only insomnia. Many must have it. Do you suffer when you write? I don't at all. Suffer like a bastard when don't write, or just before, and feel empty and fucked out afterwards. But never feel as good as while writing. I did not care what it was all about. All I wanted to know was how to live in it. Maybe if you found out how to live in it, you learned from that what it was all about.